Yeah, hi there. This is tuxocher.com again. Welcome on my video channel. Today, Adobe updated a couple of the Lightroom and Photoshop apps, including Lightroom Classic, Photoshop, and Lightroom for desktop and mobile devices. There are a couple implementation and new functions which I find pretty interesting, but I'm already prepared, so let's take a look on the desktop PC and take a look on the new functions implemented mainly in Lightroom Classic, and maybe we have time enough to take a short look on the implementation of Lightroom Mobile on a smartphone.
Okay, I already installed the new version of Lightroom Classic in this case, and let's take a look on the version number. And as you can see here, that's the 11.4 and the corresponding camera raw module to it. Okay, first of all, maybe let's go to the new implemented feature of using the graphical unit for exporting your images. Go here to performance, and as you can see, it's already clicked because it's custom. I already checked that, and that should be checked automatically if you have an auto setting here on using the graphics processor. Then we take let's take maybe this image here and go to the develop module. And the first thing now, newly we have here, like, let's take those here for subject landscape. You see here, if we go through, I think they added a couple of those presets, but if I apply one, like in this case here, you might notice this ruler here. There you can change the amount of the effect, which is given by the preset. You can take it all the way down to 0. That would be if you don't apply a preset at all. But of course, on the other hand, you can extend the effect by going far over the 100% setting here in the presets. Okay, let's reset those. And another thing, which I think is a pretty cool thing, is the so-called adaptive presets. And that's like those one here, which are used to either automatically choose the sky in this case, or the main subject of the image. But you can see in here, when I choose the sky with the adaptive preset, that looks already pretty good. And of course, here you got the same slider for applying the amount of the preset for this image. Way too far with the blue sky here, but it's just to demonstrate the effect and the ruler here. And maybe we take another image, maybe we take like that one. And if we go now to the mask function, okay, and now we have here, select the subject, click that, and Lightroom is trying to detect the main subject here, and then forming a mask, which in this case is not bad at all. But the new feature implemented by Adobe now is that you can invert the mask like this. So in this case, you wouldn't get the subject, but all but the subject masked out, which then could be treated with the processing tools in a different way from the subject. And you can duplicate the mask, like for copying it to other images. By the way, if you want to copy those development settings, go to the copy settings here. I would check none of those settings, but here you can check the masking, so you can copy the mask to another image, which are mostly identical in the main subject, and of course taken under, almost the same conditions. Okay, that were the use of the graphical unit, the new settings with the presets and the adaptive presets, and of course the inverting the mask. But there's another pretty interesting thing, but that is implemented only in Lightroom Mobile, and that is the ability to edit video clips. Let's go into the Lightroom Mobile, and already added a video clip here to the collection. And as you can see here, I can add exposure or make the whole video darker. I can even place an effect on the video, like a vignette here, like this one, or the other settings like color settings and so on, saturation and other settings alike. And afterwards, after the video clip is edited completely, you can export it to your camera roll or to your cloud services. And this one is a pretty convenient implementation if you just want to edit some short clips just a little bit, so you can post them to friends or social media or any other form of sharing your information.
As you could see, the new functions implemented in Lightroom Classic for, here in this case for Windows, but it's the same on Macintosh version, are pretty interesting. First of all, I would like to mention that you can change the amount of the preset which is applied to an image, and that's pretty cool that you can take it all the way down if you like, and of course make it even the effect stronger or above the original preset definitions. And that's a pretty cool setting, and if you don't have to struggle around with the different settings in the presets, if you like it, you just strengthen it, putting the ruler to 150 or 200%. I guess that's the unit for this ruler. And what's very interesting are the new adaptive presets for either sky changing or the main subject in an image, which are now implemented with artificial intelligence to find the main subject or the sky in an image, and then apply the settings from the preset to this image. And of course here you got the same opportunity to change the amount of the preset setting with the ruler I showed in the small demonstration. I didn't check if the new implementation of supporting the graphical unit for export purposes will actually improve the export performance, but I think it will if you render out via the graphical unit, but it's maybe a problem which how big this effect is on your regular daily work. If you have to export a lot of images, either JPEG or TIFF, that might be the case, but regular, if you're exporting only a couple of images a day, that might be not that interesting for you. But I didn't check it so far if there is any improvement in speed. And of course, the other implementation that you can now invert a mask or duplicate it even, that's pretty interesting, because now you can select the mask, find the main subject in an image, and then apply some settings to these parts of the image, invert the mask, and apply maybe completely different settings to the other parts of the image. That is pretty cool. The other one is, I think, too bad implemented only to the mobile devices, or Lightroom for mobile devices, and that is the ability to edit videos, at least in some sense. It's not a complete editing software, of course, but most of the settings like exposure, contrast, and so on, saturation, you can change within Lightroom now. You can even apply presets to the video or some certain effects like grain or vignette or so on, which could make a short video clip even more interesting before you share it. And talking about sharing, the Lightroom app now keeps the original resolution. That means a 4K video clip is rendered out 4K, of course, I guess. But in contrast to other applications, you don't have the control over the quality of the rendering. So I can't say, let's say, for example, I want to render out a video for social media sharing in a very low bit rate, while on the other hand, I want to share or render out the video with a pretty high bit rate, like 100 or even 150 megabytes per second, with the appropriate quality for other purposes in this case. Though that's a case I don't have the control as far as I saw in the app, but maybe that will be an implementation for the next version. Okay, that were the updates Adobe published today for the different Lightroom, Lightroom Classic, and Adobe Photoshop apps, and I think they're pretty cool, especially the mask and the adaptives presets in Lightroom Classic, and which will make your workflow for image processing, I think, a little bit faster and easier and more convenient. But maybe you think a little bit different about that, then you might put your thoughts in the comments. If you have any questions to this, you might as well place them in the comments or in the comments to the corresponding blog post. And if this video was a little bit helpful to you, you might think about placing a like on the video, and I surely would appreciate if you subscribe my channel, but then don't forget to hit the bell so you get a notification every time I upload a new video. Okay, that was it for today, and all I have to say is till the next time, ciao, tux oche.